Right now, in the midnight thousands of meters beneath the waves, an industrial revolution is underway. Autonomous vehicles crawl across a seabed landscape that no human eye has ever witnessed. They're not searching for relics of the past. They're mapping, mining, watching. While we obsess over Mars and the Moon, the largest land acquisition in history is happening in total darkness, on the floor of our own planet. This is the story of the deep sea race, and why the nation that wins it might control everything. Consider a statistic that defines our current limitations: 80%. That's how much of the ocean floor we've never mapped. Not, haven't been studied closely, never seen. We have better maps of Mars than our deep ocean. This profound ignorance, however, is changing. Fast. In the last 5 years, China has launched more deep-sea missions and research platforms than the previous 2 decades combined. Japan is developing submersibles capable of sustained operations at the Challenger Deep, the deepest point on Earth. The United States finds itself urgently attempting to reassert a presence after years of strategic divestment. They're all chasing the same thing: the Hadal Zone, 11,000 meters down. Pressure is so intense it could smash a battle tank in a flash. Temperatures near freezing, and somehow, life. Bizarre, alien life we're only beginning to understand. But the pursuit of biology is secondary. These global powers are descending for a far more strategic reward. Imagine vast plains, millions of square kilometers wide. They are littered with dark, potato-sized formations known as polymetallic nodules. Each nodule is a compressed mineral repository saturated with cobalt, nickel, manganese, and copper, the foundational elements for our global transition to electric vehicles, advanced batteries, and sustainable energy infrastructure. One mining company estimated that the Pacific floor contains more accessible cobalt than all known land-based reserves globally. The geopolitical challenge is immediate. This resource lies predominantly in international waters, governed by the vague statutes of the International Seabed Authority, ISA. This environment is, for all intents and purposes, a new gold rush. China's already testing mining robots. Norway just opened its waters to deep-sea drilling. Even small Pacific Island nations are claiming vast seabed territories, zones often exceeding the landmass of entire European countries. Because down there, regulatory oversight is minimal, literally. A single mining operation can generate sediment plumes that drift for hundreds of miles, suffocating fragile ecosystems, including species that are still biologically unnamed. But when there's trillions of dollars at stake, the question becomes, who's going to stop? But let's forget the metal for a second. A more valuable, more vulnerable asset lies beneath. It's your data. Currently, an estimated 97% of all transcontinental internet traffic, every email, financial transaction, and classified file, is channeled through a vast submarine network of fiber-optic cables. They are thin, fragile, unguarded, and they run for thousands of kilometers across the world's deep trenches. In late 2023, multiple cables connecting Europe and Asia suffered simultaneous breaks. Several nations faced significant connectivity loss for days. Was this an error in engineering or a calculated act of strategic sabotage? The lack of forensic evidence in the deep sea abyss made an official determination impossible. Now, consider the new reality: autonomous submarines. officially labeled maintenance drones, patrolling those same cables. Who controls them? What are they really doing down there? In 2025, China announced plans for the deployment of a permanent, manned deep-sea research station situated 2 kilometers below the surface, a facility capable of sustained staffing for months. It may be labeled a lab, but its proximity to the world's most critical data infrastructure is a strategy. This isn't exploration anymore. This is a global exercise in geostrategic positioning. The U.S. Navy is developing ghost subs, drones that can sit on the seabed for months, completely silent, waiting. Russia's testing underwater nuclear reactors that could power bases no one would ever find. France, Japan, India, everyone's building fleets. The critical difference between this and the space race is visibility. Satellites provide constant surveillance of the orbital domain, but the sheer volume and density of the ocean acts as a perfect screen. In the abyssal zone, a nation can construct, harvest, deploy espionage platforms, or execute acts of disruption. And the global community may not be aware until the consequences manifest on the surface. This is a nascent battlefield no one's watching. And the scary part? There are almost no laws governing it. The International Seabed Authority is supposed to regulate mining, but it's underfunded, under-resourced, and its mandates are being ignored by major countries. Here's what concerns oceanographers. We do not fully comprehend the scale of what we stand to lose. The deep sea isn't just empty space, it's a massive ecosystem. Some organisms there live for centuries. Coral grows a millimeter per year. Disturbing this environment once may constitute an act of permanent extinction, and the consequences extend to the air we breathe. The ocean absorbs about 30% of all human CO2 emissions. It operates as the planet's largest, most vital carbon sink. Start drilling, mining, disrupting the seafloor at scale? We might release methane hydrate deposits, destroy microbial networks, alter deep currents that regulate the entire climate. We are about to gamble with critical planetary systems we barely understand. All for metals we might be able to recycle better if we just tried. Who's going to win the deep sea race? Honestly, whoever's willing to proceed with the greatest speed and the lowest ethical consideration. It will not be the scientific community. It will be the massive corporate conglomerates, the global militaries, the nations who view the ocean not as a trust, but as the final frontier for resource domination. And this brings us to the most defining geopolitical question of the coming decade. Will we treat the deep sea as we once treated the American West? The Arctic Circle, the orbital plane? Rush in, exploit what we can, and deal with the consequences later? Or will we pause, map it, understand it, protect it, before it's too late? Because the ultimate truth of the deep ocean is, it doesn't care who's winning the race. It merely keeps the final ecological score. The deep sea covers 65% of our planet. We've explored less than 5%. The race is already underway.